Indy, one of the hallowed names in racing. A new chapter begins on August 6th when NASCAR drivers take to the fabled track for the first time. The Brickyard, where mere mortals have become legends. From the early pioneers to the men whose very names and faces simply stand for greatness. Indy, a place that breeds excitement with spectacular finishes at the stripe and where Victory Lane has been the scene of sweet and memorable moments. But they ain't seen nothing yet. The toughest men in motorsports, stock car drivers, will soon take to the fabled track. And in their honor, we bring you a Shop Talk tribute to the upcoming Brickyard 400. But before we join our host, Eli Gold, and his very special guest, Bob Jenkins, ESPN announcer and the radio voice of the Indianapolis 500, here's a look at the items we're making available to you today so you can be a part of racing history. Get into the fast lane of racing fashion with this cool combo offer, the Brickyard 400 Cotton Tee and Cap. Commemorate NASCAR's inaugural race at the Brickyard with this special litho. Break the sound barrier and save your pennies in this limited edition F-16 fighter jet bank. Capture the pageantry of the first Brickyard with this collector's plate. And as a special feature today in celebration of Richard Petty's birthday and the 10th anniversary of his incredible 200th win, we're offering this collector's litho. But first, honoring the inaugural NASCAR race at the Brickyard, we're offering these two great-looking jackets. Styled like a driver suits, this exclusive uniform jacket is 100% cotton, featuring the Brickyard logos front and back with the colorful NASCAR logo on the right front. Tailored with a zip front, snap collar, rib knit waist, cuffs, and 4 pockets, cool and casual. Item number T8917, available in all sizes. An exclusive Shop Talk offer, only $159.99. If you're a serious race fan who wants to make a fashion statement in a wearable collectible, you'll love this custom-made leather and twill jacket featuring leather applique Brickyard logos. The body is 100% cotton twill. The sleeves, collar, and details are high-quality soft leather. This classy collectible is on the cutting edge of racing fashion, right down to the silky black satin lining. Like the uniform jacket, the designer jacket is available in all sizes, but only 75 are available. And at $399.99, they won't last long. So order now, 1-800-262-7777. It's item number T1005. And now, here's the host of NASCAR Shop Talk, Eli Gold, and his guest, Bob Jenkins.
Hi, everybody. I'm Eli Gold. Welcome to NASCAR Shop Talk and our tribute to the Brickyard 400. Eli Gold with our special guest, Bob Jenkins. Many of you know Bob as the host of ESPN's NASCAR coverage, but he's also the longtime voice of the Indianapolis 500 and a native of Indiana. He joins us here today to discuss many different elements of this Brickyard 400, and of course, you'll have a chance to share in that history as we bring you some very special products that are available here today. Bob, is the interest in Indianapolis, the locals, are they getting the fever about the 400 as the rest of the racing world seems to be?
Oh, absolutely. The people of central Indiana haven't known much about stock car racing down through the years, but they do now. The local newspaper is carrying much more articles about stock car racing. They have formed the Brickyard 400 Festival Committee. They have the committee just like they do for the 500. So, yeah, it's becoming very, very exciting in central Indiana.
How about the pocket of traditionalists, which may even be more than just a pocket? The folks, the old liners who just can't imagine a stock car running at the Brickyard.
Well, I think there were a lot more of those when they first announced the race, but now they are beginning to accept it. Perhaps there are some drivers who participate in the Indy 500 that are still a little incensed that this is an intrusion into their territory, but as far as the fans, I think everybody is very much behind this event.
And I think from the NASCAR garage standpoint, Kyle Petty probably puts it as well as anybody can about what it means to NASCAR going to Indianapolis the first time.
I think you have to go back and you look at Winston Cup racing and you say, okay, what were big moments in Winston Cup racing or in NASCAR racing? I think Darlington, when they first opened Darlington, when they built Daytona, you know, when they came off the beach and they built Daytona, huge moment. I think when the factories pulled out in the late 60s and R.J. Reynolds picked up the sport, huge moment for racing. I think when CBS did the first Daytona 500 live, that was another big step. So I think when you go back and you look at places where the really peaks in the sport, then I think Indy's going the next peak from when CBS did the thing in 79.
I think Kyle Petty put it well. It is a major step for NASCAR, although still not bigger than the Daytona 500.
Yeah, but you hear so many drivers say they have dreamed about running at Indianapolis. Not only do we have fan support there, but there are so many drivers that are really excited about this race.
The crowd will be 250, 300,000, somewhere in that range. Do the Hoosiers pull for Jeff Gordon because he's from just up the road in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I think a lot of them are going to be pulling for him, but you're sure going to have your Earnhardt fans there too. A.J. Foyt looks like he's going to run the race, so those that follow the Indy 500 are going to be pulling for him.
Dick Simon going to have a dozen or so cars like he seems to have in the 500 every year?
He's working on it very hard. I'm not sure who all the drivers are going to be, but you can bet he's going to have a lot of cars there.
We'll follow up on all of that with our special guest, Bob Jenkins. We'll be coming right back with more conversation. But right now, why don't we check out again those two great-looking jackets available to you here today on Shop Talk.
You'll want to own this official Brickyard 400 uniform jacket commemorating NASCAR's first race at Indy. Just like a real driver's suit, it features the sharp-looking logos of NASCAR and the Brickyard. Only $159.99, item number T8917. For the latest in fast lane fashion, we're offering only 75 of these designer leather and twill custom-made jackets for only $399.99. It's a stylish, sporty, and classy item. Item number T1005. Call to order with your credit card. 1-800-262-7777. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to NASCAR Shop Talk. Here's our next item, a special combination offer of this Brickyard 400 t-shirt and cap. The pre-shrunk 100% white cotton t-shirt is color fast and features the distinctive Brickyard 400 logo emblazoned on the front and comes in sizes medium to XXL. The adjustable 6-panel cap is cotton twill. Designed in white with a black bill, it features the ultra-cool Brickyard 400 logo embroidered on the crown, NASCAR logo on the side, and in commemoration of the race, the date 8/6/94 is on the back. One size fits all. The cap and t-shirt are offered together for only $38.99 and not sold separately. To order item number T1007, call 1-800-262-7777. Now, before we rejoin Bob and Eli, keep in mind that you should call the 800 number only if you're ready to order by credit card. Otherwise, send your check or money order, including shipping, to NASCAR Shop Talk, 507 Maple Leaf Drive, Nashville, Tennessee, 37210.
It's extremely smooth. It's a really nice racetrack. A lot of room to race. But when you put 42 of these cars on there and start arguing over who's got what space, it's going to get narrow real fast.
Now, Bob, you and I have both had the pleasure of broadcasting at the old Ontario Motor Speedway. It's no longer in existence, but it was a carbon copy of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and the Winston Cup cars ran there very well.
That's right, but there's nothing like that today. The only thing that might be comparable is Pocono, simply because it has some flat corners. But at Indianapolis, you got 4 flat corners connected by 2 5/8-mile straightaways, so it's a unique track for these drivers.
The changes that were made to the physical plant because of the excessive speed of the Indianapolis-type cars, I wonder how that's going to affect taking away a passing groove or two.
Well, we all wonder that. You know, 2 years ago when they ran the tire test there was the apron in the corners where they could run 3 abreast, sometimes even 4 abreast through the corners, but they've taken that apron away now, and they've really narrowed up the groove. We don't know exactly how passing is going to be in those corners, but I think they'll have no problem. They'll be able to run 2 abreast easily through the corners.
In early June, you were in attendance. Rusty Wallace did a lot of testing at the Brickyard, and he has this report.
In Indianapolis, it's going to be special because there's so many people there, so we're going to put an extra effort into it.
And by the way, that test session, 4 cars and 9 engines was the final count. That's a painstaking test session.
Yeah, you know, Rusty wants to win this race real bad, but so does his car owner, Roger Penske. You know the effort he put into winning the Indianapolis 500 in 1994 with the new engine and everything. He wants to win this race just as bad.
But then you got guys like Cale Yarborough. He's got a team. Bobby Allison's got a team. They are former Winston Cup runners who ran at the Brickyard themselves.
Yeah, I don't know if they can give their drivers any insight into how to run that racetrack, but it's going to be good to see some of those guys that did run Indy cars back in the 60s and 70s come back for the stock car race.
And of course, so much was made about John Andretti's double play this year on the same day. Donnie Allison had the same weekend of activity a number of years ago and ended up having successes at both Indianapolis and at Charlotte that same year. We're coming right back with more interesting facts and some more interesting products for you as we break quickly. Stay with us.
You'll look sharp and capture the historic running of the Brickyard 400 with this special offer, the Brickyard 400 T-shirt and cap. Both are high quality and long wearing, and together they're only $38.99. Call 1-800-262-7777 and order item number T1007. We'll be back in just a moment. Here's a Shop Talk exclusive. A beautiful watercolor by celebrated indie artist Bernie Fuchs commemorates the first NASCAR race at the Brickyard. This outstanding museum-quality artwork is featured on the race ticket and on the official program for the race. It features cars representing the champions who will compete in the inaugural race on August 6th, speeding around the fourth turn and down the front straightaway. It'll give you chills as if you were there for the drop of the green flag. Only 400 signed and numbered lithos are available, and for only $99.99. Order item number T1006 at 1-800-262-7777. And now here's more NASCAR Shop Talk.
Bob, we've talked so much about the Brickyard 400. Let's not forget the Indianapolis 500. Give me some of your favorite stories.
Well, I think the most memorable race was 1960. That was my first one. My dad took me there. It was a great race between Jim Rathman and Roger Ward. Aside from that, this year, with Mario's last Indianapolis 500, brought back memories of his win in 1969. Incredibly, his only win at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He wrecked his primary car the day before pole day and got into his backup car, won the race. And you remember there was a great celebration in Victory Lane with Granatelli even kissing Mario Andretti. And then maybe our first four-time winner in 1977 when A.J. Foyt took the checkered flag. And then after that, of course, after the Victory Lane ceremonies, he jumped in the pace car and took a final lap around the track with Tony Hellman. Great memory.
I think from my standpoint, from a NASCAR side of the fence, I also have a Brickyard memory when the Wood Brothers went out to Indianapolis and helped Jimmy Clark back in 1965. We all know the Wood Brothers. They were the guys who revolutionized pit stops, even on the NASCAR side of the fence. They were the first team to really perfect the high-speed ballet. Well, then Leonard and Glenn and Delano Wood and all the fellas went to the Brickyard and basically turned in some 25 and 30 and 35-second pit stops, which in that day was unheard of as far as the Indy set was concerned. So for the Wood Brothers going back to Indianapolis, it's going to be kind of nice because they've already had success there.
That right. 1965, of course, was the first rear engine winner, so they play a part in history there, too.
Some incredible racing over the years and some incredible moments from that racetrack as we kind of share a few memories here. We're going to be coming right back. We've got some more racing talk with you and, of course, some more products for you to look at as we all kind of look back and also look ahead together in this tribute to the Brickyard 400. We're coming right back. Stay with us.
If you can't be at the track for NASCAR's first Brickyard race, this fabulous item is just the thing to capture all the spectacle. This litho showcases the same artwork as is on the ticket and the actual program for the race. This artist-signed and numbered litho is a Shop Talk exclusive. Only 400 are available for only $99.99. Order item number T1006. Order now to own a piece of racing history at 1-800-262-7777. More NASCAR Shop Talk coming up.
The world's finest drivers in the world's fastest cars. Compete tomorrow morning at 7:50 Eastern in the Grand Prix of France. Formula One, the art of motor racing, only on ESPN.
Welcome back. Shop Talk is proud to be the first to offer this F-16 1/32nd scale die-cast fighter jet bank, made to honor the Brickyard 400. Created by Racing Classics, each piece features hand-painted Brickyard logos, retractable landing gear, and detachable bombs. Only 700 are being made available on Shop Talk, so order now. For only $49.99, it's item number T9725. Racing fans and collectors will want this special collector's plate, capturing the pageantry of the first stock car race at the Brickyard. Each comes individually serial numbered with its own certificate of authenticity signed by artist Chuck Jones. Each of these limited edition plates is trimmed and designed with 22-karat gold. Item number T8963 is only $59.99. To order, have your credit card ready when you call 1-800 800-262-7777. Here's more Shop Talk.
Scott Goodyear tucked right in behind Al Unser Jr. He's waiting about a car length and a half behind Al Jr. Al Jr. now lengthens it out. He's trying to hold him off. Goodyear low, Jr. high. They go to 4, Bob Lanning.
Al Unser Jr. has the lead. One more turn to go. Here they come. Coming to the finish line. Bob Jenkins, who's going to win it?
The checkered flag is out. Goodyear makes a move. Little Al wins by just a few tenths of a second. Perhaps the closest finish in the history of the Indianapolis 500.
Boy, in 1992, a typical NASCAR finish. And that call of yours, I guess everybody around the world has already heard that call many, many times.
I still get cold chills when I hear that. Yeah, you know, Indy fans aren't really used to seeing a finish that close, 43 thousandths of a second, but I think we'll probably see one at least that close for the Brickyard 400.
Let's backtrack a bit. Passing in the corners, do you think we'll be able to see 2 and 3 wide, or is it going to be a single groove deal?
No, I think you'll be able to see 2 wide. I don't think we can fit 3 cars into the relatively low banking, but 2 cars, and then there's going to be just an incredible amount of passing on the straightaways.
The same old guys at the front, the big 3 of this year, or do you think we'll see somebody else slip in because of the uniqueness of the racetrack?
Exactly. Everybody starts from ground zero, and sure, you're going to have the big 4 or the big 6 or whatever that are going to do well, but who knows? Somebody who has never won a Winston Cup race or somebody who has not won a Winston Cup race in many years could hit the setup and be in victory lane.
We mentioned Dick Simon earlier, a longtime Indy 500 owner. How about other Indy teams? You mentioned A.J. Foyt. Who else do we expect to see there?
Well, we know that Gary Bettenhausen is going to be there. Ken Schrader has entered a car for him, so Gary has many, many miles on the speedway and could do very well. I don't know of any others specifically. Danny Sullivan, we believe, will probably be there. He, of course, is a former winner of the Indy 500. But I'm sure there are going to be a few more come out of the woodwork in the next few days to make sure they get there.
Maybe another spin and win on the part of Sullivan. Who knows? You know, when you talk about guys who might just pull off a victory, how about the Indiana native? We've talked earlier about Jeff Gordon from Pittsburgh. Here's how he handicaps the race and what this race means to him.
You know, it's new to everybody, so everybody's going there with something fresh and not really knowing what combination to run there, what's going to work for qualifying, what's going to work for the race. So I don't think anybody's got a real big advantage.
But if Jeff Gordon's looking for any edge, don't forget he's a Hoosier, and the fans in the grandstands might just adopt him as their very special favorite. We're coming right back. More with Bob Jenkins right after this.
Fly high and commemorate the Brickyard 400 with the strictly limited edition collectible F-16 fighter jet bank. Shop Talk is the first to offer this 1/32nd scale model, which will arrive ready for you to display. Item number T9725 is only $49.99. Serious fans and collectors alike will want this limited edition commemorative plate, perfect for any fan's living room. Only $59.99 for item number T8963. Call now, 1-800-262-7777. More Shop Talk coming up. On July 2nd, 1984, Richard Petty celebrated his historic 200th win at Daytona and his birthday on the same day. Now, 10 years later, we're offering this limited edition litho commemorating that memorable moment. As an anniversary and birthday tribute to the King, it captures the moment when King Richard held aloft the newspaper that proclaimed his victory. Each lithograph is signed and numbered by the artist, Jim Wagner, and is autographed by Richard Petty himself. Only 500 of this collectible are available. You can own this beautiful tribute to Richard Petty by ordering item number T1004 now. It's only $99.99. Call 1-800-262-7777. Now back to more Shop Talk.
Indy's a deal where you've always thought of it as Indianapolis type cars, you know, and it ranks to me along with the Daytona 500. To me, the biggest 2 events is Indianapolis and the Daytona 500.
It will be a happening. It will be something that will go down in the record books and go down in the archives as one of the all-time greatest sporting events in the world.
What do you think, Bob? Are Bill and DW exaggerating?
Not at all. Eli, this is going to be the largest first-time sporting event probably since the first Super Bowl back in the 60s. Over 300,000 fans for this thing. It's going to be huge.
You know, Richard Petty's team with Wally Dolan back at the wheel. We've got that Richard Petty litho that we're showing the folks. That's another name that's tied to the Brickyard, although Wally Sr. never won, but STP and Dallenbach go way back.
Absolutely. And I think there are probably few stock car fans out there that doesn't wish that Richard Petty would be in this race.
Yeah.
Foyt is coming out of retirement to run in the Brickyard 400, and myself and a lot of other people would like to see Richard in that starting lineup too.
80 cars on hand is a conservative estimate at this point. Just getting into the Brickyard 400,
absolutely.
like every race this year, is going to be its own story.
Yeah, qualifying is going to take quite a while because of so many cars. There probably will be 55 to 60 regular Winston Cup teams. The Winston West guys are going to come here. Plus, there are going to be 10 or so one-off teams. So, yeah, it's going to be very difficult to get into the field just to begin with.
I wonder what the atmosphere is going to be like. I've been to one Indianapolis 500. You've been to umpteen numbers. I wonder how the atmosphere will compare on race morning.
Well, you know, that's a good question. It's going to be a totally different crowd. The Indy crowd may be a little more rowdy than the stock car crowd. I think the stock car crowd is going to come here to watch this race and to enjoy it, whereas most of those who come to the 500 do the same thing, but there isn't going to be the infield crowd for the Brickyard 400 as there is for the Indianapolis 500.
Well, I think it's fair to say so much has already been written and said, and more will be as the time goes by, but this very first Brickyard 400 is going to be something very, very special. Before we wrap it up here today, I do want to wish the king, Richard Petty, happy double nickels. He celebrates his 55th birthday today.
That's right. He also celebrates the 10th year since he won his 200th NASCAR Winston Cup race at Daytona.
It's amazing how time flies by, and it's amazing how quickly this show has gone by. We just have enough time to remind you that even when we go off the air, our toll-free lines remain open to you. You'll have a chance to purchase and be part of history by joining us here on this Brickyard 400 telecast of Shop Talk. Don't forget, next time we join you, a brand new show following the Budweiser at the Glen on August the 14th. That's coming up the next time we get together. For Bob Jenkins, I'm Eli Gold. Thanks so much for joining us. So long, everybody.
What better way to honor the king of stock car racing than with this limited edition litho celebrating Richard Petty's birthday and his 200th career victory on July 2nd. Artist Jim Wagner has created a realistic portrait of Richard Petty, capturing the moment when he proclaimed his 200th win at Daytona in 1984. Each litho is signed and numbered by the artist and autographed by Richard himself. Limited edition of just 500 lithos, only $99.99, item number T1004. Call now, 1-800-262-7777. Now let's take another look at the items offered here on this edition of NASCAR Shop Talk. Feel like a NASCAR pro in an official Brickyard 400 uniform jacket, style like the ones the drivers wear. Show your sense of style and NASCAR pride in this custom-made leather and twill designer jacket. Look sharp and stay cool with this great combo offer, the Brickyard 400 100% cotton t-shirt and cap. Enjoy the art of speed and commemorate